Recently, I believe many people have noticed that the Vatican Catholic Church is actively reforming, striving to modernize the Church, especially making numerous changes targeting young people. This group of Catholic clergy, led by Pope Francis, is actively seeking to recruit young people to join the Church. Their actions disgust me and cause me concern. Let's discuss why the actions of the Roman Catholic Church will only bring more negative impacts to earth. I must also emphasize that it's not just the Catholic Church. Other religious organizations are also actively doing similar things. The Catholic Church is the largest religious organization on earth, so I will use the Catholic Church as an example. The Roman Catholic Church has existed for about 2,000 years, except for the first roughly 300 years, during which the Church had a positive impact on people and helped the development of the earth. After that, the Catholic clergy distorted the knowledge and teachings brought by Christ. Numerous disagreements led to the rise of many sects which claim to follow the teachings of Christ. But in fact, they don't differ fundamentally. If you want to learn more about the history of this period, you can watch this video. Christians, throughout the centuries, have even killed in the name of God. The Inquisition was a good example, and the Spanish Catholics in Mexico behaved worse than the most savage tribes, all in the name of God and Christ. Religions are a veritable curse on our planet, as I have said, and as I have proved. As for the new sects that are springing up and flourishing all over the world, they are based on control by brainwashing. It is terrifying to see young people, healthy in body and spirit, throw themselves at the feet of charlatans claiming to be gurus and great masters, when the latter are masters of only two things: talking and collecting fabulous sums of money. This, of course, gives them power and enormous pride to see themselves dominating entire crowds of people who submit to them, body and soul. Not long ago, there was even one leader who asked his followers to commit suicide, and they obeyed. Since on earth people love proof, there is an excellent one to give people. Universal law forbids suicide. If this master had been genuine, he would have known this. In demanding this sacrifice from them, he presented the greatest proof of his ignorance. Sects and religions are a curse on earth. And when you see that the Pope sets aside millions of francs or dollars for his travel, when he could make do with much less, and use what money is available to help countries suffering from famine, you cannot persuade me that it is the word of Christ which directs such actions. There is a passage in our Bible that says, "It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter paradise." The Vatican is certainly the wealthiest church on our planet, and yet the priests have made vows of poverty. They have no fear of being damned, yet they believe in damnation, because they say it is the church which is rich, not them. This is really just a play on words, since they make up the church. It's like the son of a multi-billionaire claiming that he is not rich. Only his father is. The church has not distorted the passage in the Bible relating to wealth. They have used it to their advantage. For isn't it preferable that the rich grow poorer at the profit of the church? The young generations on earth are in the process of self-examination. They have come to a turning point. Events have led them to it, and I know that they feel alone, more than any younger generation has before them. It isn't by joining sects or religious groups that they are going to be free of their solitude. The young generation of whom I have just spoken are rising up on our planet and realizing, little by little, the truth of many of the things I have been talking about. But they must learn to look inside themselves for their answers. They should not wait for help to come to them from elsewhere, or they will be disappointed. I can understand that some people want to improve themselves by joining religious organizations, But you surely already understand that joining any religious organization will never help you, because the leaders of these organizations are not the masters they claim to be. On the contrary, the clergy on earth are a group of charlatans. If you truly want to improve yourself, you need to practice meditation and focus. As I said, you must learn to look inside yourselves for your answers. You should not wait for help to come to you from elsewhere, or you will be disappointed. If you want to know how to practice meditation and focus, you can watch this video. Perhaps some might think, if I don't join the church but only read religious books like the Bible, wouldn't that be helpful to myself? Unfortunately, the authenticity and readability of religious scriptures today are very low. Historically, these clergy have made multiple alterations to the Bible and other similar religious books. And here, we'll continue to use Catholicism as an example. The version of the Bible in the 1st century, when it first emerged, is very different from the version we have today. Let me give a few influential examples. For instance, these clergy removed the concept of reincarnation from the Bible, which is easy to understand, as this concept conflicts with the idea of judgment of the soul in the Bible. So why did these clergy insist on the concept of judgment of the soul? We now have to discuss some of the fabrications made by these clergy, the most famous being the concept of hell and the devil. I can tell you that hell and the devil do not exist. These are fabrications made by Catholic clergy. They invented these terrifying concepts to better control the masses, because you surely understand that fear is a great tool for controlling people. Therefore, to control the masses, they removed the concept of reincarnation and added the so-called hell, continuing to insist on the concept of judgment of the soul and hell to this day. From here, you can see that these clergy are truly scheming to control the masses, thus earning money and gaining power. The Bible is not the book of God, as many people on earth believe it to be. It is simply a document of ancient history, much modified and full of embellishments, added by writers different from the original scribes. Often they were in good faith. At times, they have distorted the facts, although not purposely. The only times this distortion was purposely done, and for very specific reasons, as I have said, was by the Roman Church during the councils of Nicaea in AD 325, Constantinople in AD 381, Ephesus in AD 431, and Chalcedon in AD 451. There were others too, but of lesser significance. If you want to know the truth of the stories in the Bible, such as the Exodus, you can watch this video. By now, you should have understood that joining any church or reading any religious books will not help you. If you want to improve yourself, you must rely on yourself. Do not expect answers to come from others. To get the answers to your questions, you must practice meditation and focus. If you truly want to learn more knowledge like this, you can click the link in the description below to download a free ebook. I would like to emphasize that this is not a religious book, nor is it a classic book from any church. To summarize in one sentence, the book describes the truth of the universe. Believe me, if you are willing to spend a little time reading this book, it will be the most helpful thing you've done for yourself in your life.